Crime time
with my bestie.
I'm Jess and this is Anna Riches, and we are Crime Time with the Bestie. Hi, Bestie.
Hi, bestie.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little nervous because we're doing a double recording today.
I know, back-to-back recordings. We've never done it before. We normally space them out to give ourselves a little break, but we're trying to test out some ways to make podcasting less stressful? Is that the technical term?
Streamline it.
Yeah, streamline the process.
Yeah. We're already failing at some of those, like don't leave our notes until the last day, because both me and Jess were writing our notes today.
Yep. We sat down and were like, we need to make life easier for ourselves. What are we doing that's making life stressful? And the one was leaving things to the last minute. What?
I haven't done my post for today.
Oh no. Do you want to do it now?
Well, I'd have to make it.
Oh yeah. Just, it's fine. Oh, what, the episode is out at all?
Yeah.
Oh lol.
I'll do it after this. I'll do it in between the episodes. You can keep this in.
I will. I'll keep it in for reference. It's currently the 10th of December, so this is really, really in advance.
This is going to be out the 4th of February.
4th of February? Seriously? Wow. I always do, to be fair, I listen to a fair amount of podcasts, and most of the ones that I listen to always seem to batch record, and they batch record way, way, way back. So I don't feel like it's that unusual, but for me it feels weird.
It does feel like super in advance. We're going to be so many months in advance. I mean, not edited, because obviously we'll leave it editing till probably 2nd of February.
No, to be fair, I think I've already got another episode that still needs editing. So I've got 2 episodes now, once this one is obviously finished recording. Got 2 that need editing. So I'm going to have to pick up the pace.
That other one doesn't need to be out until the 7th of January.
Either way. That's a month away. My brain is still like, ah.
We'll do it. This
It'll
is just,
fine.
We've had to squish all of the episodes together to be able to, in the future, help ourselves by batch recording.
Yeah. It's meant to make life a little bit easier, and we didn't want to go to extreme levels of reducing the number of episodes we make and stuff, because already 2 weeks is...
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Compared to, I don't know how some people do it.
It's their only job.
Yeah, only job. Was it subscribe, comment and stuff,
Yeah.
so that we could actually make some revenue, which would then more than likely, if anything, just pay for somebody to edit our episodes?
Yes, that would be lovely, because I simultaneously was working on 3 different episodes this week because I was finishing off my edit and posting one social for the episode that's just come out. I have one in the bank that needs to be edited, and also the notes for this one.
That is a lot. If it helps, I feel like it's our podcast good thing for the week, not the episode good thing for the week from both of us and the news that we have. But again, in the past, we released our Spotify Wrapped for this year.
We did.
And I was really touched by all the people. And I actually had somebody reach out to me that I used to work with. Hello, because apparently they're quite an avid listener.
Oh, yay, hi.
And they really like the podcast. They really love it, and they said that we have a really good vibe, and we have worked really well together. So it was kind of one of those all feels kind of worth it sort of feel things.
Yeah, I'm very motivated by compliments. So when someone says, I think we both are. When someone says something nice about the podcast, we're like, yes, we can deal with all of the self-imposed stress because you've given me a compliment.
Yeah, I'm definitely an acts of service kind of love language person, but not against words of affirmation.
With this, I'm not normally a words of affirmation person.
Oh, you just love a compliment.
But there is no other way of someone showing they like the podcast without either telling us or liking it.
I was going to say, comment, subscribe.
Without commenting and subscribing.
Do all
and giving it a good review.
But yeah, so I suppose that leads quite nicely into our good news of the week. Would you like the good news of the world this week?
Oh, we're starting with that? Okay, cool.
Do you not want to? I suppose it normally... Okay. It's because it's
we're mixing it up.
I fully have it ready in the link is there. It's in my notes, ready to go in the show notes when we publish it, because I didn't do that last time. I have to add it to it. So my good news for the week this week is that the Antarctica's shrinking ozone... Wait.
I was gonna do that one.
Was you really?
I was gonna do that. It's not the one that I did. It's not
You
the one that I did.
think?
Bear
Are we
with.
going on the same
No,
website?
it's not the one. Yeah, we are. But it's not the one that I did, but that was the one that I thought
Oh,
about
that's
doing.
funny.
But sorry, please tell our listeners.
At least it's not a surprise for you anymore. I'm sad, but anyways. This is from positive.news, and it is Antarctica's shrinking ozone hole signals hope. It says scientists have confirmed the hole in the ozone above Antarctica was the smallest and shortest lived since 2019, describing the news as a reassuring sign. I thought that was really nice.
It is really good news, which is why it was almost my news. My news is on the same website. I'll tell you, obviously, next episode, but it's on the same website. Three below it.
Oh, one.
No, don't look.
Oh,
don't
sorry, I won't spoil it.
yourself.
Okay, I'm going to close the page. I'm going to close the page. I'm sorry. But yeah, I thought that was really, really good news. Very positive.
Yay, well done us. As in, slightly the world.
Slightly the world. I'm sure I try my best. I try and be less wasteful and all those things for the planet and all that.
Me too.
Yeah. So yeah, my good news. So again, it's kind of weird because we're doing 2 episodes back to back, so I have to make sure to only say one bit of good news, and then you'll hear it obviously next episode. But for me, it will be in about 2 hours of what my good news for the week is. So my good news for the week is that we now have proper flooring in our living room.
Way!
Yay! We moved in January, and the first room we did was the living room, and we decorated it, but we knew we wanted to run flooring like completely throughout, so it was all the same and matches and didn't have any like trim. But that meant we couldn't lay it until everything else was done, and now that our kitchen is nearly finished, we can start laying the flooring. And so I no longer have to look at a very, very messed up rug that has been like basically.
I was going to say, you did have a rug.
We had a rug. And then the underlay that we left to make sure that like we didn't get any like cold, which was reflective. So the floor was like weirdly shiny all the time. It was very strange.
It was funny.
But yeah, so that is my good news of the week. That Sam laid all the flooring, and it looks really good, and I'm very, very pleased. And it technically means, even though there's lots of rooms in the house that are officially like done, the first room that we started technically is officially done, and that feels like a big pro,
like a full circle moment.
Yeah, and weirdly the cats are like super happy. Like I feel like they were happy before, but there's this, I'm getting this vibe that they're like super comfy and chill, because the house has been a little bit chaotic with all the like decorating and stuff.
They're like, thank God this is done.
It's like, oh, that shiny, disgusting floor. I was so sick of it. Like, I'm so glad that you finished this. So yeah, that was my good news for you.
Yay. Well, it does sound like very good news. Would you like to hear my good news for that?
I would. So sorry, I did not prompt, but yeah.
I was like, do you want to hear it?
No, I don't really care. No, I'm joking. I do really care.
Well, that's fine. Get on with the episode, whatever.
Tell me.
My good news for this episode is very food orientated, but I got a really good Too Good To Go bag yesterday. It was a sushi based one. I got 3 of them because I got one for me, one for my boss, and then it was technically my colleague's birthday on Monday. So I got her one, but unfortunately her daughter wasn't very well and she didn't come into the office. So we ate her Too Good To Go bag.
I was going to say, just like extra sushi.
Yeah. So it was £5 a bag. I paid 15 quid for the lot, and I added it all up, £98.25 worth of sushi.
Holy cow. Where from? Was it like a Sainsbury's one?
Yeah. So it was the counter in Sainsbury's that does like proper sushi, and we got 13 boxes of sushi between the 3 bags. Sushi. There's so much sushi. It fed all of us in the office. How many? 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the office. I put one aside for one of the women in the office to eat tomorrow, like as in today. And then I took a bunch home and I've had it. I had it for dinner. I had it for lunch. I've not stopped eating sushi. I am sushi.
You just look like a California roll.
Yeah. So yeah, great. I recommend that a lot.
I do love a Too Good To Go bag. I'm not going to lie. It is quite a...
They're hit and miss, but they're exciting. This one's
I don't
always
tend to do
good.
supermarket ones. Other than the like sushi counter, we did like a one for Aldi once and got like 2 bags of onions. And as much as I like to convince myself that I made a great French onion soup, I probably made it wrong. But I did not rate it that highly, and nobody needs 2 bags of onions.
No,
like the
big
big
in the
bag.
freezer. Bigger in the freezer,
True.
But even still. Yeah, the supermarket ones are hit and miss. A bakery one is quite good normally.
I've heard the
sushi
Greg's
one
ones
is
are pretty
always
good.
Yeah, I've had Greg's ones. Me and Katie used to pick up a Greg's one, and it used to feed all four of us for at least 2 days.
Our Costa one is good. There's like a particular Costa in the shopping centre near us. We basically eat nothing but Costa for like breakfast and lunch for like 3 days.
Excellent.
And I'm not one of those people that cares about sell by dates. If it smells fine and it looks fine, it's not growing fungus, then I'm probably
Yeah,
okay
it's
to
fine.
eat it.
With the too good to go bag, you've got at least 3 days on them.
It's probably like 90% processed anyways, otherwise how can it sit in a fridge for that long? So yeah, we're probably fine. We're gonna die? Maybe, but hopefully not right now.
As long as we don't shit ourselves on the podcast, that's...
I would
That's
prefer
a goal.
not. I don't know whether it's my goal, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's certain goals I have in life, and shitting myself whilst mid-recording is probably not it. As well as it would have to be one of those things that we'd have to release, because even though we don't record live, you couldn't leave out the shit content, could you?
I mean...
It's top tier.
Well, now
top
you
tier
guys
humour.
know. Sure, Jess, sure. So, I hate to end this shitting conversation, but should we get into your episode?
We should probably get into the episode.
Can you remind me of your teasers, please?
Yes. So my teasers are, first, Lester and Strangled. And you criticise me for these, but
you criticise me every week.
Don't be my best friend then, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I did see, sorry, this is a side note, but I've seen a couple of Instagram posts that's like, if we're not friendly or if I hate you, I'll be very nice to you. If you're someone that's close to me, I'll insult you and you think I hate you. But actually, I love you, you're my best friend.
Exactly. 90% of our relationship has probably been insults. When you start being too nice to me, I'm like, oh my god, either I'm dying, she's dying, or something's wrong.
Yeah.
She broke something and doesn't want to tell me.
No.
But yeah.
Alright, bitch, tell me about your episode. Tell me about your case.
Okay, so it was first Lester and Strangled, and my sources are Wikipedia, BBC article, a T&F Online article, The Guardian, Medium.com, YourGenome.org, the Guinness World Records.com, and I technically said the Guardian. I've got 2 Guardian articles, so they're both The Guardian. And the trigger warnings are strangulation, rape, assault, death to a child, assault to a child, rape of a child, and Ephebophilia. And
What's Ephebophilia?
It is paedophilia, but of a older age bracket, more like teenagers. I would have just put paedophilia.
Oh, okay. Oh, hebophilia with a H. I thought it was Ephebophilia.
Well, it's spelled EPHEBOphilia. I didn't want to spell philia.
I thought.
Sorry. P as in EB, H as in EB.
Yeah.
That's how I. What did you say?
There was one that was with a H. Hebophilia.
There is hebophilia, but I think that's have I googled the wrong thing? Let me Google it.
I don't know. Okay.
Crap time. Oh, it's literally just a slightly different age bracket. So hebophilia is the prepubescent children, so between the ages of 11 or 12 and 14, and ebophilia or ephebophilia? I don't know how to pronounce it now. Wait, I'm gonna go because it's got a P in it.
It was ebophilia. I just thought you'd missed off the H.
No, well, plus PH is a first sound, right? So Ephebolia. I don't know.
Just what is the age range?
About 15 to 19.
Okay.
So today we are going to be talking about the murders of Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth. And I am going to ruin all previous precedent that I've said with how I talk about cases, because I'm going to jump straight to the spoiler/surprise of the episode to set the scene.
Okay.
So I chose this case because we mentioned it a while ago when we were talking about a different case. I'm pretty sure I said at the time we should probably do that case later. And this is because this is the case that is the actual first case solved with DNA evidence.
Oh, okay. I see the first.
Yeah, and you were like, first isn't a good clue. Yes, it is. So shut up.
It's a stretch, but okay.
I'm putting my 2 middle fingers up at you. Wait, 2 middle fingers? I'm putting all the fingers up at you. So, this is the first case solved by DNA evidence, and I wanted to give a little backstory about this eureka moment of how DNA profiling or DNA fingerprinting came about. So it kept saying DNA fingerprinting, which is not the same as just fingerprinting. It is the like literal fingerprint of your DNA, what makes it like the unique kind of layout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification.
That's okay,
I would have
'cause I
thought
also
it
got
was
confused.
like, I thought it would be a fingerprint, but you've left some of your DNA, like you've left a bit of skin or something.
No,
there.
so they refer to it as fingerprinting because it's like the unique, almost like the swirls of your fingerprint that are unique to your body. It's like the uniqueness of your DNA, and that it's called a fingerprint.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But other places also more probably known as like DNA profiling. So yeah. In 1984, Alec Jeffreys developed the technique of DNA fingerprinting in the University of Leicester. The DNA that we actually test is 0.1% of our DNA. The other 99.9% we share with everyone else. The process of DNA fingerprinting allows us to compare the differences in that 0.1%, which I thought was really interesting because I just assumed that like everything about us was like, I know that obviously we share certain DNAs, like we have so much DNA that's shared with a banana, but
yeah, I didn't
realise it was such a small
down
amount.
to 0.1%. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like, I don't know, 5 to 10% or something.
Alex identified a length of DNA that repeated itself in the sequence. He realised that those regions of DNA were unique to an individual and could be used to distinguish one from another. He took a DNA sample from one of his lab technicians and placed it alongside DNA from each of their parents, as well as the DNA from a tobacco plant, a cow, and a seal.
What is that? Sorry.
Apparently we share quite a lot of DNA with seals.
But like, are these things that they had on hand?
Maybe.
Why those? That's very random.
I don't know, maybe you just wanted to be quite out there. I genuinely thought they all often used bananas, so, you know, tobacco
but
plant.
a banana, you would, someone has a banana in their lunchbox.
Yeah.
Nobody's bringing in a tobacco plant to work, or a seal, or what was the other thing? A cow.
It'd be a really interesting day at the office. He added radioactively labelled probes. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to roll with it. I was trying to summarise a very like detailed scientific page, and I didn't do a very good job. So he added radioactive. I'm pretty sure this was like might have been like a direct like quote as well, but I just don't understand it. He added radioactively labelled probes, short segments of DNA that only bind to the DNA sequence of interest that would help him to recognise the myoglobin gene. So this is what he was testing, the myoglobin.
Okay.
When the probe binds to the DNA, it highlights it as a black blob. He added the radioactive labelled probes. Wait, I've copied the same line twice. I told you this is going to be
so well
this
today.
is going so well. Wow. So basically, I wrote these notes in an hour and a half, and now I see why.
You were like, they might be shit notes.
Okay, black blob. The probe had bound to all the sequences with a similar sequence to the probe, resulting in a completely different pattern of dark bands, unique to the individual. The technician shared parts of their pattern with their mother and father, showing that they were related. In contrast, the tobacco, cow, and seal all had completely different patterns, showing that they were not related. This was the first production of a DNA fingerprint. What?
The way it's like showing that they're not related. Yeah, one's a plant.
I know you know that, like, physically.
I know, but just as a sentence, it's a funny sentence.
It is a funny sentence, but it's, if you've ever seen like a DNA imaging where it's like lots of lines to sort of like match up, that is basically what they discovered, and they could like match it up as like a sequence, which I thought was really clever.
It's very clever.
The first actual use of DNA fingerprinting was for family identification, being used in immigration case in 1985 to prove a mother was in fact the parent of two Ghanaian children trying to get to Britain. So the mum was already living in Britain with two children, and her other two children were trying to get over to Britain to her, and they were saying that their passports were forged. So for them to be allowed to enter the country, they had to prove that they were related. So
okay.
they didn't look like she was like trying to smuggle in children that weren't hers or anything like that.
Yeah, I see.
Now this is where we come to our case, which involves the murder of two young girls, Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth. And I've written this in my notes as if I am the storyteller and I'm like the narrator. And our case starts in 1983. So I feel like it's like da 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 da. Now this is, I don't know why, the way I've read it in my head, it was like really like elaborate.
Yeah, it does sound like you were a narrator with a book.
And this, children, is where our story begins.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, subject matter and trigger warnings probably aren't appropriate for children, so.
God, yeah. If you're listening with children, maybe stop.
There was actually quite a little amount of detail in my sources on the two girls, just because why, we're going to create loads of information about the murderer, but never about the people that's actually involved. But at the same time, they also were children or teenagers, so I don't know whether the family ever gave much information about them
Yeah.
because
And
they were
also, it's
quite
from
young.
the 80s, so there's normally by that point things have been like lost in different stories.
We first find out about Lynda Rosemary Mann, who lived in Narborough, a little village a few miles from Leicester city centre. We're in
Oh,
Leicester.
Leicester?
She was a typical teenager, being 15 at the time. On the 21st of November 1983, Lynda was on her way back home from babysitting when she took a shortcut known locally as the Black Pad, which is a path that ran alongside a mental hospital. Her parents had expected her home late, but when she didn't return at around midnight, they reported Lynda missing. Sadly, the next day, her body was found just 300 metres from her home.
Oh,
I know, it's
that's
so
so close.
It doesn't say anything about her body being moved, so I can only assume that the location in which her body was found was the location in which the attack happened.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that it was in what did you call it? The Black Pad.
Yeah, so it was just like the colloquial.
Yeah, for like an alley, was it?
Yeah, something like an alley or path basically. She was found to have been attacked, raped, and strangled. Despite some semen evidence, they were unable to find a culprit, but were able to deduce that the man had type A blood and an enzyme profile that matched only 10% of men.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know you could get that from semen, so
No,
each
I
their
didn't know
own.
you
I
could
didn't know
get
you could
a
get
blood
blood type
type
either. Yeah.
from semen, and I also, I mean, I don't really know what an enzyme type is. I didn't know we had them. That may be me being very naive, but I think it's interesting, and I also think it's interesting that only 10% of men had this one.
I have no idea what it is either. And biology was my strongest subject at school, and I still have no idea. Not strongest science subject. My strongest was art, because fuck everything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because fuck maths.
I was actually really good at maths up until A level.
I was gonna say we were in the same class. I remember A level maths, and I remember you hating it.
Yeah, A level maths I hated, but up until that GCSE, remember GCSE. I had appendicitis for half of the year, took 2 weeks off, and then still came in like, yeah, what did I miss? Oh, okay, yep, la 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 la.
All right, show off.
It was the one thing, but you get to A level, and then I was like, I hate everything, and I hated the teacher too.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. Nothing wrong with said teacher, but you need to make those kind of subjects fun, and she didn't. It was very sad. I would have. I mean, I didn't do terribly at maths, but I definitely didn't do as well as I did in art. But I suck at maths, so there we go. Anyways, despite having semen evidence, the investigation went cold after a few months because they had no leads. They didn't know who to investigate or anything like that. 3 years later, in 1986, Dawn Ashworth, also 15, was living in the village of Enderley, close to Narborough. She was expected home around 9:30 p.m. but did not arrive. Her parents also reported her missing. 2 days later, her body was found in a wooded area near a footpath called 10-Pound Lane. She was found to have been attacked, raped, and strangled in a similar circumstance to that of Lynda Mann, due both to having been murdered a few hundred yards from one another. Lynda's clothes had been removed in the same manner as Dawn's, and she too had been raped before being strangled with her own scarf. Because of the similarities, the police believed they were dealing with a serial killer.
How long in between these?
3 years.
Okay, for them, I suppose, yes, there's a connection. It's the same place. I suppose that's possible. I was just going to say it's quite a fair amount of time in between.
I get what you're saying, but also because I technically didn't mention it when I mentioned about Lynda's murder, but the way that the clothes were and the use of the scarf.
Oh, okay, so it's so specific that it has to be the same.
Yeah. I will say, though, I won't reveal too much. I've already given away one of my surprises. The murderer, when they were caught and asked about Dawn's murder, they said it was basically completely circumstantial, that it wasn't planned, and they were like, they were in the right place. I decided to do it then and there, sort of thing. So them both having a scarf very well could just be that they were both wearing a scarf. Like, I like scarves, but not everybody wears one. So it's not necessarily like he's rocked up with a scarf and, you know.
I just thought it was interesting. I guess some of the serial killers you hear, they're like Pedro Lopez was averaging 3 a week for 3 years. Just in between them just sounds, I suppose it's about average for serial killers, I guess. I don't know, I was like, oh, okay, you've just said things that are a bit more specific. It just felt like, oh, that's quite
No, I get what you
long.
mean. There's not, it's not so many murders and with so many specifics to kind of go, yeah, that's definitely the same person.
Yeah.
So, in a strange turn of events, a few months after Dawn's murder, a young man called Richard Buckland, who was said to have learning difficulties, confessed to the murder of Dawn. He appeared to have knowledge of the crime that had not been made public. When questioned, he admitted to the crime repeatedly, but would then withdraw the admission. So he would kind of be interrogating, he'd go, yes, yes, I did it, and then the next time he sort of confessed, he'd be like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Despite this, on 10th of August, he was charged with Dawn's murder and appeared in court the following day. Buckland denied that he murdered Lynda, only stating he was responsible for Dawn. And the police, as said, were convinced that he had been the same person because of the similarities, so they believed he was also responsible for Lynda as well. So it wasn't that they didn't believe that he'd done it at all, they just believed he was lying and had also murdered Lynda.
Okay, and they believed that he was telling the truth about Dawn because he had so many details that nobody else knew.
He doesn't say specifically what the details were. I think one of them was that he knew where Dawn's body was before the police did, but that was the only kind of admission that kind of came out. There was more in the sources that just said that he had knowledge of the crime. So there could have been other things. But at the same time, as we've shown through some recent cases, there is also leading questions from the police sometimes.
Yes.
So it could be that they said something, he picked up on it and then changed it. And when they then kept pressing on the same subject, he might have picked up on the fact that they were focusing on that topic, if that makes sense. So like completely. If you went into an interrogation and you didn't know anything about the crime and they went, so why did you stab her? And you'd be like, well, I know she was stabbed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and then if they switch around people that are interviewing them, like if he does multiple interviews, then when he goes into the next one, he can say, oh, I stabbed her.
Yeah, and then they were like, oh, you knew that she was stabbed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't specifically say that, and from the sounds of it, the investigator that was involved with the case was very, very professional, and they were really trying. They were really trying, basically, to find the murderer, because at the end of the day, they were 15. So not that you wouldn't find a murderer based on age, but I think it really shocked the community, and everyone was quite scared at this point that there was a serial killer running around killing teenagers. So
people do tend to rally around children and teenagers, like with the Robert Black stuff. That's the one that I just edited. Obviously there was a lot more volunteers and things because they were children.
I will say that I genuinely did these notes and I had to like double check, because when it was like strangulation teenagers, I was like, did Anna already do this? I genuinely was convinced that you'd already done it, and considering it was only like 2 cases ago, I was like, wow, my memory is shocking. Shocking.
We will make a list at some point.
There will be a list. We probably should.
I started a one and stopped updating it after like episode 2.
Back to the case. With the police being convinced that it had to be the same person, as said, they believed that Buckland was lying and had actually been responsible for both Lynda and Dawn. They were determined to tie Buckland to the case and had recently heard of a new technique developed by Alex Jeffries at Leicester University, that of DNA fingerprinting. I did wonder when I went to type the note, when I was like, they were determined to tie Buckland to the case. I was like, don't make it come across that they're going to twist some evidence, something. They were like, no, we want like facts. We want hard facts.
Yeah.
At the time, the immediate reaction to Jeffries stating that DNA could be used to solve crimes was met with laughter. So he actually presented this to colleagues and people at the university, and when he said, oh, I think we could use this to catch criminals, they were like, nah, this is stupid.
What? I feel like
I know.
I mean, maybe it's hindsight, but I'm like,
maybe
this seems like the most logical thing to use it for.
Yeah. And like, I think at this point, I don't know if he had used it already for the immigration type cases, but if he hadn't, even then, I'm like, this is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Would you not want to know who committed a crime?
Well, I feel like you've got 80s serial killers running rampant.
Yeah, so many serial killers.
Maybe, we could do some good in the world. Yeah, let's go with it.
This was also why I quite like this case. Obviously, we did my case last time was about familial DNA, so it's paved the way for so many different types of evidence profiling. familial just being one. This is obviously just like pure DNA testing.
You're on a animals causing murders train, and now you flipped over to a DNA train.
If it helps, my next one is none of those.
What's the next train that you're gonna get on?
Do you want to know now?
No.
Ruined my
That was a
teaser.
rhetorical question.
Oh, okay. I mean, next episode there'll be a teaser. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. At the time no, I've done that bit. Despite the initial dubiousness, that's the word I'm going to go for, of this being used in crimes, the police reached out to Jeffries for this exact purpose. Jeffries was given the samples and agreed to carry out tests on Buckland's blood with the semen from the bodies. Jeffries was able to determine that yes, in fact, the murderer was the same person, but this person was not Buckland. So even though he confessed, he was not the murderer.
I mean, we're not really super shocked at this
No.
point, are we? Because you've built up the story
That's
as
why I
that
love
he's
the
not.
suspense.
Yeah, but
I
I
love
mean,
the
as that
suspense.
he's not the murderer. So I kind of knew. I'm not like, oh my god, he's not.
No way.
It's good that they have used the DNA to like link the two murders, so that now they can say 100% same person.
So, and I find this quite interesting as well. So, not only was this case the first case of catching a murderer with DNA, but it was also the first case of a suspect being cleared with DNA profiling as well. So it's two firsts.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
double whammy.
Fuck you, my first teaser.
Still.
So this is a direct quote, because I don't remember why I made sure it was a direct quote, but it is. According to research, oh no, I know why. According to research, serial killers tend to kill within a 5-mile radius of where they live. And I feel like I didn't quite believe this, because we've covered quite a few serial killer cases now. And I feel like they're not, some are, but also not always.
I would say probably like 50-50.
You think?
That are in the same, you think more or less?
I think I like less. I feel like some serial killers like really branch out and sort of move about so as not to get caught.
I think maybe it depends on how many victims you have. Because if you're
Maybe.
Pedro Lopez, you're gonna need to branch out.
Yeah, I suppose you just gotta run out of people eventually.
But
it's like, oh, everybody's dead. Oh,
like,
crap.
How did that happen? But yeah, so he would have had to have moved around. But out of the cases that we've covered, yeah, actually, probably more have not stuck to the 5-mile radius.
Yeah, that's what I had in my head. But there's probably more. It did say according to research statistically. So I think I wanted it to be direct quote, but maybe like inverted quotes. Like I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe we just haven't covered them because we're only 16 episodes into this.
For this reason, in early 1987, the police decided to take a big risk using this new DNA technique. They asked all local men between the ages of 16 and 34 to voluntarily give a blood sample so they could be eliminated from their inquiries. By the end of January, so they started this at the beginning of the year, so within a month, they had tested over 1,000 men, and overall they tested nearly 6,000 men over 3 villages. This was, and is still to date, Leicestershire's biggest ever manhunt.
I was going to say, this is a lot of people to be testing.
Yeah, and it did say in the sources that when they got to like quite a few thousand people and they hadn't found the person yet, there was a lot of people like, is this actually worth it? Yeah. Also, this poor Alex Jeffries guy just literally like slaving away testing 6,000 people's DNA. I think it took like 8 months. I don't know how many people they had involved, like trying to test everything, but yeah, I think it took about 8 or 9 months.
He's just doing it on his own.
Late into the night, like whipping him, like keep going,
20-hour day. He can have a nap in a cot in the corner of the lab, and then he has to carry on.
Keep going.
Could he, at this point in time, limit the age of the DNA? Like, because you said that they were. What ages did you say that they were testing?
Between 16 and 34.
Yeah, so that's still kind of.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't. Okay, because I was going to say, how do they not know it was a 50-year-old man or a?
Maybe it's the enzyme thing. We know nothing about enzymes, but I also really, really don't want to open the can of worms of what is old sperm. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly.
Oh,
I just can't. I don't really want to go there because what if we find out the sperm? What if there's little sperms with like little walking sticks when they get to a certain age? Like, do you know what I mean?
They might be. They've got
All
a
swimming backwards
dodgy tail.
Yeah.
What I was going to suggest is when you Google it later on, or when I Google it later on, it's probably like enzyme profiling or something. Is probably what
maybe
you would Google, not old sperm or sperm with walking sticks.
That is where my brain goes though. Even though the enzyme protein could probably makes a whole lot more sense.
It's also the way that you say old sperm. If you get to 34, you're still in your prime, but 35, old. Oh, they've all got walking sticks.
I'm not going to lie. I do, whenever people say that to you, like, oh, you hit 30 and everything changes, that's real. And I'm sorry for all, if we've got any 20-year-olds out there, 29-year-olds that are about to hit your 30s, I'm tired. And my back hurts. My back really hurts. Everything literally goes downhill from 30. I think I was saying that to somebody from Derby because I was like, oh, I've been to physio about this thing and then this hurt and I did this. And they were like, how old are you? And I was like, 30. Wait, how old am I? 30?
32.
How old am I? How old are we?
32.
We're 32. I was about to say 33.
Almost 33. We'll be 33 by the time the episode comes out.
There was one more thing in the sources. Originally, like, some people were like really dubious when they were approached by the police and was like, you need to give us your blood. And the sources basically said most men came forward willingly. If they didn't show up, the police would like go to their door and be like, you need to give me your DNA.
Yeah, are you hiding something?
Yeah, it made them seem more suspicious if they didn't want to provide it.
I mean, as we have seen in other cases, sometimes when they come too hard after people,
it doesn't always go well.
It doesn't always go well, and they can fabricate things.
Yeah.
So I can understand being dubious, but I can see also how it makes you look worse. Like, it makes, like, just from appearances, it's like, you've got something to hide.
Well, funnily enough, at the time, a local baker confided in his friend that he was nervous about providing the test, tried to persuade his friend to take it on his behalf. This man was Colin Pitchfork. Pitchfork was born on the 23rd of March 1960 and had been living in the same village as Lynda Mann at the time of her murder.
Sorry, I was looking at you, I was understanding the words, but I was also thinking Colin Pitchfork is an excellent villain name.
Yeah, it's
Pitchfork,
not bad, really.
Like, it's a bad person
grab
name.
your torch and pitchfork and like chase down the villain. So yeah. He's really not set himself up there. Not that he had a choice. I mean, he might have done, but Pitchfork had been involved in various crimes, including flashing and sexual assault. He claimed that he was worried that providing his blood sample would allow the police to pin it on him.
Well, what we were
kind
of saying, but
it lined up perfectly with my notes. It's like we were in sync.
Oh my god, are we covering each other's minds? Are we doing a podcast?
Oh,
yeah. Are we doing a podcast?
There's something wrong with us.
There is. There's so many things. I just, as a side note, it's not important, but being on the police's radar for flashing, I just think is, I mean, it's terrible. It's
a decent exposure, though. It's illegal.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, it's embarrassing. Like,
but I mean, if you're,
like, do you know what I mean?
Was he, the word that I can't pronounce, he's either a hebephile, paedophile, or Ephebophilia. I don't know what it is. He's one of the philias.
Yeah. No,
he's a philia of something.
He's terrible, but just isolate being on the police's radar for flashing. I know that it can come with more connotations and it's like you can be a lot more nefarious with it, but in my head it's just you're just whacking out a dick at random spots and I'm just like, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not your finest moment. I mean, he does oh my god, he's the murderer.
Things. Yeah, he goes.
I was going to say, like,
absolutely terrible.
Spoiler
things,
alert.
This is the least of his concerns.
He is 100% the murderer. Sorry to spoil it. Pitchfork had convinced his colleague, Ian Kelly, who lived outside the area, therefore would not have been tested, to provide a sample on his behalf for the price of £200. I did do the conversion. I don't know if that feels like a lot of money in 1980. Shit, when it was like 1980. Where are we?
Do you want me to do the conversion now? £100 in 1986 is worth £374.47 today. So
That's like
700
£700.
and something pounds.
That's not worth it.
Not to potentially go to prison.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ian Kelly wouldn't go to, well, oops.
Well, no, sorry. Yeah, but if you're caught aiding him later on, you could still go to prison.
Anyways, so yeah, Ian Kelly provides a sample for half of the price of £200.
Because I don't know how well that will have picked up on the microphone.
Oh, I said spoiler.
Jess, yeah, I was going to say, Jess went, spoiler, but really quietly. And if it picked up, great. But if not, it was so funny.
He went to a lot of effort as well, this pitchfork, because if you were thinking that this guy was like just trying not to get it pinned on him or whatever the police, he pays £200 to Ian Kelly, but he also forges a passport so Colin Pitchfork puts his details on a passport, but with the photo of Ian Kelly. So obviously he looks like the person he says he is. And Kelly was successfully able to take the test for him. I feel like that's a lot of effort.
That is a lot of effort.
I feel like Ian could have been a little bit more suspicious.
You'd think he'd ask a few more questions. I mean, even if you asked me, can you take this DNA test for me? I'd be like, right, let's sit down.
DNA test as well.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of questions about this.
We can question a urine sample for, if you've had a really good weekend and your work throws a random drug sample into your Monday morning. We're taking one for the team. You told me to give you my DNA. Either you better be building me a clone, and it better not to be cover up a murder, because...
So clone, yes. So that's how I get you. I just say, oh, Jess, I'm just building you a clone because I can't be without you. So could you give me some of your DNA?
To be fair, I feel like if you did do that, though, you would 100% give the clone back to me and say that it's annoying you. Because as much as we are best friends,
not every single
we
day.
know that we can't be together like all the time. No. And then I would annoy myself.
We need time where we're like, at the very least, in separate rooms, scrolling on Instagram, sending each other reels.
Yeah.
At the very least.
It's peak friendship, really. I don't see why people need to communicate in person. Gross.
No. Weird.
I forgot where I was. Right. Pitchfork made a passport. A few months later, a local woman, Jackie Foggin, phoned the police stating she had overheard a man bragging that he had taken the blood test on behalf of someone else, which in turn led to the police looking into Pitchfork. Pitchfork had been 22 at the time of the first murder and 25 at the time of the second. Police arrested him and confirmed, with the help of Alec Jeffreys, that he was indeed the murderer of both Dawn and Lynda.
Boo. It's very, very sad.
During questioning, Pitchfork admitted to exposing himself to more than 1,000 women.
Jesus!
I forgot that bit. Now your flashing thing seems really shit.
Fucking hell. Okay, I take
whipping
it.
his dick out
just
everywhere.
Take it all back.
I genuinely forgot about that bit.
Was his dick ever in his pants?
Maybe not. It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It's just literally just walking around with it out everywhere.
I would like to do a corrections corner in the episode. I am very sorry for what I said about it being embarrassing, because this is a lot and this is too much.
I genuinely apologise because I forgot that was part of my notes. Otherwise, I probably would have allowed you the option to backtrack.
Take it all back. That's a lot. I mean, it's not great ever. I apologise. I didn't mean to belittle it. I'd like that on record.
I do wonder though, because it could generally be that he just never has a stick in his pants.
Well, he must
but
not.
Also 1,000 people. I'm sure I've probably met 1,000 people in my lifetime. Have I interacted with 1,000 people? I don't feel like I have. There's so many people. I'm overwhelmed. I can't imagine having interacted with 1,000 people in my life. I feel like my brain would implode.
Yeah, you've just got your dick out for.
You could just be like, walked into the shopkeeper, flash. Yeah.
I am sorry, I do take it back. I didn't mean to belittle it.
Pitchfork says it was a compulsion that began in his early teens. So at the time of his arrest, he was 27. So I'd say he's been doing it for about, maybe let's say 10 years. That's like a guess.
That's 100 people a year.
That's a lot of people.
That's 100 people a year. That's one every 3.
It's women only as well.
Days.
He says 1,000 women.
Yeah, I like that even less.
Pitchfork later progressed to sexual assault and then strangling his victims. Pitchfork said this was in order to protect his identity. Investigators rejected this, viewing the motivation for the strangulation as perverted sadism.
Yeah.
If he wanted to protect his identity, he wouldn't have whipped his penis out in front of 1,000 people.
Exactly. 1,000 women. So how many other people saw his penis?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not that great at remembering a name, but I'm pretty good at remembering a face. So, you know.
Sorry.
What?
I didn't know what you were going to say there.
I have seen a minute. No, I haven't. A dick joke.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm not very good at remembering a name, but I am very good at remembering a penis.
Depends what it looks like. What if it was really wonky? I'd probably really remember it. Can you imagine doing a lineup, but it's not a face, it's a dick?
They've probably done that at some point.
They probably have. How fucking messed up is that? Unless he's walking around with a bag over his head, you're probably going to be paying more attention to down. Eyes are going down, unfortunately, because he's flashing you deliberately to try and draw your attention to him.
Exactly.
This is wild. Sorry.
This is a wild case. 1,000, and that's the bit I can't go over. Okay, carry on.
During his interviews with the police, he admitted his crimes, but lied about the level and nature of the violence he had inflicted on his victims. There was details about what he did. I chose not to put it in.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it deserved it. At trial in September 1987, he pleaded guilty to the 2 rapes and murders, in addition to sexual assault of 2 other girls, and conspiring to pervert the course of justice. The judge said the killings were particularly sadistic, and he was sentenced to life in prison for the 2 murders and 10 years for raping the victims. He was also sentenced to 3
years per victim.
10 years per victim.
Okay.
He was also sentenced to 3 years for each count of sexual assault and 3 years for perverting the course of justice, with all the sentences to run concurrently. His minimum term was set at 30 years.
That doesn't feel like enough for what he's done.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. And what is it? It doesn't get any better.
It's not gonna get any better.
And then, spoiler alert from the earlier spoiler alert, Ian Kelly, the man who had aided Pitchfork, was also arrested and charged with 18 months. So he was.
See, I said it's not worth going to prison for.
No, because he did a bad. He also perverted the course of justice.
Exactly. Just don't do it. Don't be a murderer. Don't give your DNA on behalf of your murderer friend. Not for 700 quid.
No. In a gross turn of events for an update on Pitchfork, he has repeatedly appealed his parole and sentence, and he actually had his sentence reduced from the minimum of 30 years to 27 due to his improved character, which I thought was fucking gross.
Off. What, he's kept his dick in his pants for 10 minutes?
I mean, he's probably in a prison with men, so people aren't going to be like that interested in seeing it. I mean, they might be interested in seeing it, but he's probably not flashing them.
True. Because it was 1,000 women, but that's not a reason to reduce his sentence. He should have more of a sentence. But he should have more of a sentence for what he did.
I know. It didn't feel like enough.
2 people, raped them, also sexually assaulted other people. Two other people, did you say?
He was charged with 2 other sexual assaults of 2 other girls as part of the whole conviction.
And then the 1,000 people. The 1,000 women that he flashed.
I mean, that was what he said that he did. He didn't say that he charged them. Like, he was charged for that.
But, I mean, I feel like you could at least gather a few people, ask them, and he's probably done it to them.
Oh, yeah, 100,000%.
Like, I feel like you could corroborate that quite easily.
Improving your character, I don't feel like is a justification to have your sentence reduced from the extent of crime.
No, definitely not.
So he was granted release on conditional license in 2001. So I don't know if he actually was released from prison or they just granted him the ability to be released. But it was met with great public backlash, particularly from Dawn's mother, Barbara Ashworth. And so the pushback basically meant that it was subsequently denied. But in December 2023, the parole board ruled that he should not be released from prison.
Ever, sorry.
Yeah, so I think they're basically, because he's minimum of 30 years, but with the possibility of parole. So what they're saying is that he shouldn't be let out, and he has now appealed this decision and said he should be allowed parole, and the appeal has been successful. But it has not yet been determined he'll basically go for a new hearing, and there's no outcome for it yet. So that was in December 2023. So at the minute, he's still in prison.
Okay, and when was he sentenced?
Like 1987. So he's been in prison for 30 years in 2027. And his sentence was obviously reduced to 27 because he has served his time. So he is now eligible for parole. But what they're saying is that he shouldn't be allowed to be out.
Yeah, I won't put my opinion in here because I don't know all of the things to do with
I
it.
would
Well, I'd
I would
prefer
prefer
him
he
not to
not
be out.
be. I would
Yeah.
prefer him not to be.
I agree.
So a little bit of more of a happier note is, or at least a more positive note, over the last 30 years, according to some estimates, more than 50 million people have had their DNA tested during criminal investigation.
Wow, that's so many. Is that just in the UK or is it worldwide?
I think it's worldwide. There is a UK, or it might not be because the article is very specific towards UK stuff, so I could be wrong, but it didn't specify. So it has secured the convictions of perhaps millions of crimes and from time to time excluded innocent suspects like Buckland and overturned miscarriage of justice. So obviously when we've had cases where people have gone to prison incorrectly, DNA has also exonerated them, so that's great.
And people laughed at Alec.
I know, poor Alec. The first national DNA database was established in the UK in 1995. It currently holds 5.8 million DNA profiles based on samples taken from 5.1 million people, equivalent to almost 8% of the population, and that was 1995. It does say that there's less preferences to storing DNA in a database, and I vaguely remember one of the sources saying that they've since changed a few laws about storing DNA, so there may not be as much anymore in such a large database.
Okay.
But because there's like ethical questions that DNA testing and profiling has brought up that we've come across before, such as the familial DNA stuff. But overall, I took from it that, and I believe personally that DNA profiling is a really good thing because it obviously means that we can put the people that deserve to be in prison in prison.
Yes, 100%. And also, like we found out earlier, it can help with the investigation, even if it's just down to limiting it to there is one murderer amongst these victims. Like that's already better than not knowing.
So that was the murders of Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, the first case of DNA profiling in a criminal case.
Thank you very much. That was a really good case.
You are welcome.
I still take the piss out of your first, but
there was two firsts in there. First conviction and first not exoneration because he wasn't charged, but first what's in my notes? Exclusion, that's it. Yeah,
exclusion. Yeah. But so it was a very good case. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You are welcome. I feel like I did sort of cheat a little bit because it had come up before, but I do remember at the time, pretty sure we said at the time, we're like, we should do that case later. I have a feeling we might even Googled it mid-case to at least just the
probably,
year, to understand where like the first DNA case happened.
Yeah. I don't think that's cheating. I didn't know the specifics.
I never knew the specifics either, and I also I never realised that it was the UK. I always just kind of had the impression that DNA profiling came from America, but I don't know why. And
this is so this is the first ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alex Jeffries was the inventor of DNA fingerprinting.
Oh yeah, I suppose I just didn't put two and two together in my brain. I also thought America.
But you probably still had the that's what I mean. I suppose there's like this. There's so much true crime. America's a big place, so I feel like there is a lot of true crime and like cases that happen in the UK. But I feel like America sort of like takes a lot of the like limelight, as gross as that is, to sort of like. There's a lot of very, very high profile cases in the US, and it's such a big place that you're obviously going to have more true crime because the population is bigger and the span is bigger. But yeah, I don't know why. I just had the assumption that it was invented by a US person, so I apologise to Alex Jeffries for my misinformation or misguided belief. And it's cool that it was invented in Leicester.
Well, hopefully we're informing our listeners as well. I wonder if our listeners knew, or if you had the same thoughts as us that it originated in America.
There's probably someone sitting there right now going, wow, you two are meant to be like real professional podcast hosts and you didn't even know this. Like, how can you say that you're true crime fans? I'm like, I promise I like true crime.
We like true crime, but we have the memory of a sieve.
I don't know whether I've ever come across this.
I don't think I've ever come across it, but because I've got the memory of a sieve, I wouldn't remember even if I had. And let's be real, me and Jess share one brain cell. This episode, you've got the brain cell.
Okay.
You think we don't?
And sometimes I like to think I at least have two. They're constantly fighting with each other.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, just bumping into each other. And
it's like Pong. Is it Pong? That game where it's like, bing, boom.
I like to think of my brain cell as the DVD screensaver where it like goes along and then it bops
Yeah.
into each corner, and when it hits a corner directly, that's when I get a thought.
I like how we're different. We're like, you're the DVD screensaver and I'm Pong, even though we are exactly the same ages. That was my case.
Well, that was a great case. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
I was going to say, shall we let our listeners know? Do we all know what time it is, kids? It's time for you to look at our Instagram and TikTok, which is Crime Time with My Bestie on both.
And if you want to show us your appreciation for our fabulous episode, you can like, rate, review, subscribe, comment, give us all the
5
love
stars.
give us 5 stars on all of the platforms where we are. We are available wherever you get your podcasts, and that includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
But really, please, because I'd really like an editor at some point, because having 3 episodes on the go at once it's not for the faint-hearted.
Not gonna lie, I love the energy that we bring, but there is a little part of dread in me right now that we're about to go, bye bestie, and then in about 30 seconds we're
Hi,
gonna
bestie.
have to go, hi bestie, and pretend that everything is normal, even though the listeners will know now. But so when they come to listen to the next episode once it's released, they'll be like, you con artists. They're like, you're
Please forgive
best
us.
You're like, good news for the week. We know it's the same week, you liars.
It's the good news for the episode.
That's true, because
We're
we
just
released...
changing it.
Yeah. Good news for the episode. So this is awkward.
Yeah, we're having to drop in here because we might have forgotten about my teasers.
So, as we've said at the beginning of this episode, we were doing a double recording, and I went to ask Anna about her teasers and realised that she'd not told them to me. So it was a complete surprise. So we're zipping back in time, dropping into the episode mid-recording, and I'm going to ask, would you like to give me your teasers for the next episode? Which is even weirder, because I now know what happens.
You now know everything.
I know
But
everything.
Listeners, you don't know, and we didn't want to leave it as a surprise for you. So, I mean, it's still a surprise, but you want to know something. So, my teasers for next episode are fire, birthday party, and bubblegum.
This is brand new information. I am shooketh.
You have no idea what this is about.
Zero. It's a complete surprise. I am so... can't wait. I'm so excited.
I think they're quite good teasers.
They're a very good teaser. As a speaker from the future, because we are now the ghosts of Christmas future.
All in one episode.
I mean, that's the next episode, so spoiler, we talk about Christmas shit. There's a...
Oh, I forgot that.
Double recording is fragiles our brains. But yes, thank you so much for your teasers. They are very good, and I'm very excited for your episode.
Thank you. And we will see you guys next episode.
So thank you so much for joining me, bestie. Thank you, besties, for listening.
Thank you, bestie. It was a great case. And
yeah.
Bye, bestie.
Bye, bestie.
Bye.
Bye. Bloopers.
That one definitely wasn't.
It was
definitely not.
Oh, we'll never get it.
Do you want to say bloopers?
Okay, just the word bloopers? Bloopers!
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Are we just doing bloopers in just weirder and weirder voices?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yes! 5-star reviews all round. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know what that was, I'm so sorry. So, nothing else is happening on this
You're
episode,
not funny then.
Oh, shit, we best just stop now. We best just give up.
I see what you did there, I enjoyed that.
Good luck stealing my identity, enjoy all my debt.
Yeah, I was going to say, enjoy that £2.50 in my bank account.